Hello everyone, it's Mealie and welcome back to Klein Tuin Zoo, my little historical South African zoo here. And I remember last episode I said I'm going to try and get 2 episodes out this month. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I was way too optimistic with that goal, but at least we can get this 1 episode out, so yeah. But anyway, as you can see, I've made a bit of an adjustment to the bandstand area. So initially all of it was sunken in the ground, which I thought was weird, but I was copying Johannesburg Zoo, and Johannesburg Zoo has their bandstand sunken. But then I actually looked at the Johannesburg Zoo bandstand area and I realized I was wrong. Only part of it was kind of sunken. Well, it's kind of like this, raised terrain on one side and the other half of it was flushed with the ground. And I was like, yeah, that makes more sense, because if it was sunken into the ground, water would just accumulate and build up and it would get waterlogged, it would ruin the grass, and you wouldn't really want that. So yeah, I'm not sure how I made that mistake, but yeah, I've kind of fixed it. So this half over here is flushed with the ground over here, and the terrain is kind of raised on this side. So yeah, this wall only covers half the bandstand, which I guess it reduces piece count, so that's a bit nice. Yeah, and then we have this elevated platform over here, which is flush with this area back there. And I've also made a few other changes. As you can see, we have a nice little planter now. I would like to have this just like grass, like this texture, but the terrain tools don't really allow that transition nicely. So yeah, had to have some planters. So we just got some pebbles and some flowers and plants growing in between them, all along here. And on this side it's just a bit more overgrown, no colors, just green and some trees interspersed. And also added this wall. Was this wall here last episode? I don't believe so, but yeah, the wall kind of comes around here as well. So yeah, now people will be chilling down here watching their concert or just the music playing, and then of course the animal rides come back here, so we'll be watching some music, and an elephant might just walk past at the back. So yeah, that's the adjustment I made to the bandstand area. Beef also able to roam. And of course I've added like I said last episode, I was going to change the pathway in this area. So first of all, I just want to say I connected the elephant house up to this pathway. There's a path underneath this plaster piece, I believe. Yeah, this is a plaster piece. And I have a sunken habitat gate in here. So unfortunately I can't sink habitat gates in all the way, so I had to put this little Indian brick trim to cover this top up. Yeah, so that's just something I'm gonna have to keep just so we don't see the top of that door. But it's well worth it, because look at this. There's no poop. There used to be so much crap. Just as I say that, you have to prove me wrong, but it's a lot less than what it was before, because now the keeper can actually come inside and clean all the poop, because before there was way too much. So as we move along this way, you can see the path, which used to stop over here where this brick line was, continues. So the path kind of goes into the staff area. We have a little brick pavement here, and now the staff can actually access these keeper huts and trade centers, and I believe a restroom, whatever this is, staff resting facility thingy-mabobby. And we have the path continue along this way, along our owl cages, and the path kind of splits, one going to the lemur exhibit, another going to the flamingos. And changed up the planting a little bit. So yeah, we've got our I'm pretending this is like lavender. Then we also have these ferns. I'm kind of pretending, what kind of ferns? Bird's nest fern. They look a bit like agapanthus, which is a very popular garden plant here in South Africa, so I'm kind of pretending that this is agapanthus filling up this planter. And on this side, yeah. And of course they all connect to the main path. You can see lemurs in their boxed up habitat. Let's unbox them. Every time I load up this file, the lemurs are boxed up. And I've added this kind of door thing to hide the actual in-game door, because the in-game door is a bit too modern for the zoo. Come on, guys. There we go. So before we move on to the new stuff I built, we come back out here to the entrance where we have a little angry archer vendor and a whatchamacallit caretaker walking through the walls. But yeah, our angry archer vendor is selling some monkey nuts. No, not those kind of monkey nuts, but these would be bags of unshelled peanuts that you'd come and pay for. You can see we have some coins in there. People have bought some bags, and these aren't for people consumption, but actually to feed the monkeys, hence the name monkey nuts. So yeah, I read that the Jaguar Zoo, one of my inspirations, an old South African zoo that closed in like the 70s, I believe, they used to have people that would come sit outside and then sell bags of these nuts, and then you'd go and feed the monkeys. So that's what I decided to do here. And now that let's go grab a bag of our monkey nuts, unshelled peanuts, walk along here, and I guess guests could use them to feed the lemurs and elephants as well. It doesn't have to be restricted to the new primate stuff we built. Anyway, let's walk along here, walk past the camels, walk past the llamas and the goats, and right over here where we had a grassy patch before, we now have a little primate area. So yeah, let's first start off with these exhibits. So now this design is based on something I saw in the Johannesburg Zoo, so I'll throw on the pictures on screen now. Yeah, so I was just going to initially do a traditional row of cages for the monkeys, but then I found this picture from the Johannesburg Zoo, as you can see here, and I was initially a little puzzled as how this worked, because you can see there's just some sheds along there, some poles, and a monkey climbing along one of these poles over here. I didn't really understand how the monkeys would be kept inside here, because they could easily escape over there. But then I found a similar picture from the Pretoria Zoo, and see here we have Jack the baboon stone thrower, and he kind of shows how the exhibit works, and what he's doing is wearing a harness and he's kind of chained down to this pole in the middle, and that only allows him to go inside the house in a little area around the pole, and that's what kind of kept the monkeys in this kind of setup. So I was like, ooh, I like that, now I have to have that for Klein Tuin Zoo. And so we built it. So we have 7 of these little monkey houses. I have a sign here warning people that the monkeys bite, of course. Then I have this little I'm not sure what this is, little shed thing on the side here. I saw it in the picture with the Johannesburg Zoo, so I was like, okay, I gotta make it. Maybe it holds extra chains or harnesses for the monkeys and that. So yeah, we have a very janky gate. It's just like a little wooden piece that you manually move off, and then you can go inside. Here we got 3 species of monkeys. So we have the Chakma baboon over here. I believe these 3 will be Chakma baboons. These 2 are for rhesus macaques, and these last 2 for vervet monkeys. So yeah, these pieces are made with this new kind of Australian disc pieces, which unfortunately does mean this glows in the dark at night, but I rarely ever open the zoo file or put the zoo time to night, so I can live with it for now. It's a bit annoying that they don't have a off switch for these things just yet. I'm sure eventually we'll get it. If we come over here, we have 2 more small cages. So this one isn't exactly a primate cage. We have a grey squirrel up here and a bush baby over here. So initially I had the grey squirrel in there and the bush baby there, but I decided it's probably best to put the bush baby in here, since bush babies are nocturnal. You're probably never going to see them outside, but this one does give you a bit of a peek inside this little shelter, so you can maybe see them sleeping, and that's why the bush baby's in here. This is also a bit closer to the path, I think. And I know there are smaller primates that I could have put in here except grey squirrels, like marmosets and tamarins and tarsiers, but I'm not sure if those would have been kept in South Africa at the time. Well, marmosets and tamarins you do get now, but for the time period I felt like they might have been a... I'm not too sure if they would have had them or not, so decided not to take the chance and just go with the grey squirrel, because I think nowadays in some areas you have feral grey squirrel population, so yeah, they clearly were brought to South Africa sometime in the past. Yeah, it's the same, these like little cages are the same things I've used for these whatchamacallit, these, what was in here? Budgies, yeah, budgies were in there and I used the same design. Just change the house, change the branches and that. And for staff to access, they have to come and walk over these rocks and they come in the cage, take care of the squirrels, come here, take care of the bush babies. Oops, please, please, this is why I don't always do Tejet Camp. I truly hope one day we get a Tejet Camp button. It would make going in and out of Tejet Camp so much easier. But anyway, yeah. So, I will move on to this side of our primate area. We have 3 little macaque statues over here. Got some plaques on there, so that probably tells who sculpted it, maybe a bit of a story, what they represent. Yeah, and just some gardens running along this midsection, dividing the place in half. So let's start up here. This actually isn't a primate exhibit, this is a Jaguar Pen. So, yeah, let's see if we can see him. Oh, I believe our Jaguar has escaped. Okay, I got the Jaguar back. So yeah, there's a bit of this climbing structures in the game has been really weird as of late, because sometimes when I load the game the animals can't see the climbing structures, sometimes when I load it up the animals can and then they can escape. Yeah, it's been really funny this last update. So yeah, we got our Jaguar over here. Got little climbing structures. You can climb up on this platform. If I can show the heat map. These pieces are climbable, so you can hop up here, or you can walk down here, but I have seen him go up here once to kind of play with this sack thing in the bobby. And we have the night room back here, so okay. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sometimes when I load the game, it says you can jump up here, and clearly this time it says they don't. I don't know what's going on with the climbing structure, but yeah. Of course we have screw it, screw Tejet Cam. I'm just gonna do normal view. I try and do Tejet Cam once, and this is how the game thanks me. So here I have a guillotine door with a wire coming down there, and a little wait to open and close it. I was gonna pretend that this guy is an African leopard, but I figured that there's so much ignorance around the difference between between leopards and jaguars. I was like, you know what, I'm not going to fuel that ignorance by calling a jaguar a leopard. I'm just going to leave him as a jaguar, and if we ever get leopards, then I'll put a leopard in here, but for now it's a jaguar. So this kind of house design is kind of inspired by a picture I saw, an old picture from Johannesburg Zoo. I'll throw it on screen now, although it's very different because there's the materials are a bit different, and there's also no vent thing at the top. Yeah, I figured a jaguar here makes sense since we have our lion here and our tiger over there, so all our big cats are kind of together. And now we go back to the primates. So over here we have 2 semicircle cages. They're kind of based on the old big cat house in Johannesburg Zoo, only the Johannesburg Zoo is a full circle and that's divided into 4 sections for the cats. So I'll throw a picture on screen now so you can kind of see my reference. But yeah, instead of big cats, we have primates. So here we have our mandrills. We have 2 females and a male. We have this big flat area up here. We have this elevated platform they can come up on. Going traversable area. Of course. See, this is what I'm talking about. Now clearly, when I load the game in, they can't even see the climbing structures, even though they should easily be able to climb up here. But if I had to reload the game, we can see that now they can see all the climbing structures and that. And I haven't changed anything. I just reloaded the world and now they can see it. So it's really annoying. I don't know. I remember hearing Shantae saying that the devs are constantly tweaking the climbing stuff, so I don't know, maybe in the future this is just something they're working on. But yeah, as you can see, they can easily get up to the top part over here, either sleep on the leaves or play with this little ball thing. And we have a area back here, the backstage, and they can climb on these little platforms here. And we have these staff areas over here, so there's one gate here, an entrance there, and another one on this side. And this one has the door to go into this main exhibit, and the little way to control the guillotine door. And similar setup over here for chimpanzees. So climbing structure differs a little bit. Same thing on the inside here. Yeah, pretty much same layout. Two like kind of staff areas that can come into and open the gates. And for the chimpanzees, since they're a lot bigger, the hitboxes are bigger than the mandrills, to actually have them be able to get up here, I had to line this entire floor with planks, so that it's actually climbable for them. And the stairs, they can also go up the stairs. But yeah. I believe we have two males. Two male chimpanzees in here. So yeah. And here's the other staff entrance. And those are all our primate cages. I guess the guests could come over here, they can feed the chimpanzees, they can go over there, feed the mandrills with the nuts we bought at the entrance. Or come over here, and I'm sure the monkeys will do some tricks, because I read somewhere that where they fed the monkeys will do a bit of some tricks, and then the guests will be like, ooh, cool trick, now you get some peanuts. Oh, just in case you were wondering how I made the circular structure, I used the normal mud column technique. So these are just Indian bricks all spread around in a circle, and just take a mud column like this mud pillar over here, like so, and of course you duplicate like that, so then you have Indian brick on that side and on that side, and then you just gotta do the tedious process of spreading them around in a circle and placing them like that. And that's pretty much how I did this entire structure. So for the bricks at the bottom, for this little fence cage thing structure made out of the Australian metal pieces. This gutter over here, this is made of the metal beams, and this top piece is made of arch shape. This is also Indian bricks again. So yeah, that's how you get that circular structure. But anyway, that's all I got to show for this episode. And world download should be there. I think next episode I'll release it. I'm not sure, but probably then. So if you wanna see what's going on in this exhibit or anything else in the zoo, you can come in the world and pick everything apart. Yeah, that's all I've got to show for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm gonna actually try in December to get more than one episode out, because I should be less busy. I'm gonna actually try and make content then. But yeah, until then, bye.